Hello everyone, Andrew here, and welcome back to Donkey Kong Country 2. This is bonus video number 2, and in this one we are going to be looking at all of the warp barrels in the game. And just like in Donkey Kong Country 3, all of them are found within the first two worlds. So yeah, if you watched my Donkey Kong Country 3 Let's Play, or even just the bonus video about the warp barrels in that game, you are going to be, pretty in the know-how of how this works. And basically, each of the levels in Worlds 1 and 2 has a barrel near the beginning that will instantly take you to the end of the level, making it so that you can pretty much beat the first two worlds in just a matter of minutes. And yeah, so without further ado, let's enter Pirate Panic, the first level of the first world, and let's go and get that. So basically, finding the warp barrels in this game, they follow two basic patterns. Either they are hidden underneath platforms, or they are hidden in places that can only be reached by throwing one of your characters up into the air. And the first one, in the first level, you stand on this first barrel on the far left here and throw one of your partners straight up, and there you go, warp barrel number 1. Unlike in Donkey Kong Country 3, every warp barrel in Donkey Kong Country 2 takes you to a little bit of a room with an exclamation mark made out of bananas, and then after leaving this room, then it takes you to the end. So that was not in Donkey Kong Country 3. I mean, the room is kind of pointless, but at the same time, it's also kind of neat, because it's like, oh, wow, I found this secret, and I'm getting a few bananas out of it, also we don't need to hit the target every time and get an item. It would be much faster to, just hit it the other way. But yeah, so there you go, first level. So like I said, that is one of the ones where you need to throw someone up into the air, as that is the only way to reach it. But then you have ones like this one in the second level, where you're going to want to grab Dixie here, and you're going to want to flutter underneath of the starting platform, and then you find the warp barrel under there. Unlike in the third game, warp barrels do not have a W on them. This is kind of, I don't actually think they were termed warp barrels. I'm not supposed to hit the target. I don't think they were actually called warp barrels in the second game. They were kind of just like little shortcut barrels that took you to the end. And then in the third game, they added the W and officially called them warp barrels. So yeah, a few little differences in this game which are kind of interesting. This one, in level 3, you might remember this bonus game that is hidden on these barrels right at the start. What you actually want to do is throw your partner over this barrel and to the left, and the warp barrel is actually directly above the bonus barrel, which I've always thought was kind of interesting. It's funny that when you go into the bonus barrel, it doesn't shoot you into the warp barrel, which then, shoots you to the end of the level. Interesting how they kind of, worked all of that out. There you go. So that's level 3. Level 4 is kind of funny because I accidentally found this one in the main game. So that would be part 2 of my Let's Play, and that is hidden directly above us up here. In this barrel. What you can do is you can either throw one of your partners up like that, or you could go to the right until the water rises, and then go back to the left, and then get the warp barrel that way, which requires you... Why did I do this? I keep getting the item by accident. Which means that you don't have to have both partners. So this is kind of one of the ones that's up high, but you don't actually need both partners to get it. And that was how I accidentally went into it during the Let's Play. Level 5 right here, this one's pretty simple too. Like I said, they're either up high or they're underneath the platform, so you can probably guess where this one's going to be. I believe this was actually the very first warp barrel I ever found as a kid playing this game, because it was just kind of, it wasn't really too difficult to find. So either roll under there, or use Radley to get under there. Do one of those two things. Also, I never got this during the main Let's Play, because I, for some reason, did not have both partners. So we might as well get that blue balloon now as sort of redemption. And there you go, just like that, you have beat the first world in about, 2 or 3 minutes. Especially, I was doing lots of rambling along, too. So there you go, that's World 1 down. 5 bonus barrels to go. So we have Hot Head Hop. This level, actually, is kind of funny, because there is a treasure chest hidden directly above the start here that I once again did not get, because I did not have both partners. And inside this, there is a green balloon, so I'm just going to show that. But what you really want to do, actually, I guess you could actually probably get up there if you bounce on this guy. So let's do it that way, because I've never actually gotten up here by means of him before. But basically, the warp barrel, you want both partners up here, and you want to jump straight up and throw one of them up here. And you should be able to get it somewhere, I believe. There you go. So yeah, so go all the way to the left, throw your partner straight up, and there you go. Warp room number 6. And it will take us somewhere near the end. And let's see, I need to land on the edge so I don't get the item. Alright, so that's another one down. Next one is in Crystal Mines level number 1, which is Cannon's Claim. And this one is actually kind of interesting. You need to go, it's not really far into the level, but it's not right at the beginning like some of them either. You need to go along here, you need to shoot yourself up through these, jump on this guy, and the warp barrel, actually, I guess we'll kill you. I guess I never really pointed out, you can kill these guys by actually throwing a partner at them, which is really, really useful. But usually whenever you need to destroy them, there's things like TNT barrels around anyway, but yeah, a fun fact. But the warp barrel in this level is actually hidden under this platform, which is very tricky to find, considering, I mean, you'd probably, you know, look more towards the beginning. Although there is that bonus game there, which has the DK coin in it, so that's kind of probably took up, you know, a potential spot for the warp barrel right there. Anyway, number 7. Number 8 is in Lava Lagoon. And much like the last underwater level, even though it's kind of an under lava level, this one is hidden up in the rafters. But where exactly in the rafters? Is it here? I think it's here. Is it here? This one I always try to forget. Yes, right there. The ceiling looks the same, kind of, all over the place. So there you go. Get all that stuff. And then once again, let's no. Oh, wow. It forces you to get the item. Well, I guess if we're going to be forced to get it, we might as well get that one-up balloon. Yeah, I've just been, you know, like, running through these levels at Mach speed, and even then I've picked up 10 lives, which is kind of funny. I mean, 15, I guess you start with 4, so I actually technically picked up 11 lives. Red Hot Ride is probably one of the trickiest ones to find, because you're probably like, oh, it's probably, you know, just on top of the start again. Although that's not actually the case, but there is a coin up there. Actually, 2 coins, which is pretty cool. But yeah, what you want to do is you actually need to kind of go ahead a little bit to over here where the K is. Now you want to take this balloon, it's kind of this burst of air right here, and then team up, and then throw straight up there, and that is where the warp barrel is. That's pretty tricky, that one. Kind of just need to be in the perfect spot, and then, you know, throw your partner straight up. So again, I mean, I've repeated it, but pretty much all the warp barrels, you need to, you know, throw your partner up, or go underneath the platform. So there you go. Dixie rocking it out. And one final warp barrel to end it off is in Squawk's shaft. And let me think, where is this one again? Ah, yes, that is where this one is. I remember a lot, like, after I found out about the warp barrel in the last level of World 1, I started looking underneath all of the starting platforms, and I was constantly trying to go underneath this one right here. But actually what you want to do is go over here, and it kind of went off screen, which is a shame. But there's a barrel that you go into that shoots you into the warp barrel. But basically, it's kind of obvious where it is there. And yeah. And do I get it one last time? Why not? There we go. So yeah, all 10 warp barrels in Donkey Kong Country 2. Just like in Donkey Kong Country 3, they're all compressed into the first 2 worlds. And yeah, hopefully, you know, that will help you out throughout the game. They're just fun little things, you know, to find. Of course, if you do use them, you're going to miss all the items in the level. But if you're not going for a 100% run, you might, you know, just want to use those, you know, just for fun. They're neat little secrets, and I've always really appreciated their existence. Because even though, you know, so for someone who like me, who wants to play through the whole game and collect everything, they're just really neat things to even, you know about and to, you know, to use sometimes just for fun. But yeah, with that said, that is all of the warp barrels in this game. Unless there, you know, there's something else I'm somehow forgetting about. Feel free to let me know. There was that kind of weird secret in what was it, the 4th level of World 5, the other Hornet level, where there was that door that kind of took you ahead a little bit, but that wasn't really a warp barrel or even a warp room. It only took you ahead, you know, a few steps. So there's weird things like that, but overall, those are the 10 warp barrels in the game, and yeah. Go and show off to all your friends that you know more about Donkey Kong Country 2 than you do. Wait, than they do. I said that wrong. But anyway, before I say more things wrong, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and more bonus videos next time. So thanks, and see you later.